I had what do you think about this? It's right now I go to heaven by faith, and I don't get
and
to
that's
go.
what it is.
It's by faith. I visualize it. I go where I want to go. And this morning I was going to the body parts warehouse because I got a few issues with my eyes and sinuses. Had 5 sinus surgeries, so I said, Lord, I want new eyes. Began to describe what I wanted, and basically I said I want my father's eyes, like the Amy Grant song. She's got her father's eyes. I love that song. And I said I want my father's eyes, and I want to discern and understand, and then I want the sinuses that go with it. And so I said, but I want God, because I've heard stories about angels then taking the parts to the earth. I said, I want you to put my eyes on. So I visualize the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit together holding and putting it on. And then, my prayer was, Lord, sometime today, I would like to become suddenly aware that I saw something I never have seen before.
Yeah.
That was my request. I can't demand that kind of thing. What do you think about that? Is that okay to visualize like that?
Absolutely. So the word faith for me is kind of like a mind block. If I use faith, I'm like, I don't know, because do I have enough faith? If my faith is the size of a mustard seed, but is that enough?
Yeah, it's gotten misused a lot or
overused.
And
so I use the word trust. I don't know that, or he uses the word trust with me because he knows that when he says faith, my brain shuts off.
Well, you know what? That's going to help a lot of people right now. Say it again. So God has you use the word trust and faith rather than faith because it helps you get there. It helps you understand.
Right. So if he, when he was using the word faith, my brain would shut off because I just struggled. Did I have enough faith? Is my faith enough? Is it too little? Is it too, is I have faith in the right thing, And so he said, well, okay, let's call it trust. So whenever he talks to me, he says, trust me, not have faith, trust me, trust this is where we're going. Trust this is what you're hearing. Trust this is what you see.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I can trust him. I don't know if I can have faith, but I can trust him.
So for those that are watching, if they did something similar where they began to visualize the Lord doing something, is that one of the steps you tell people to do?
Yes.
In order to actually learn to get there even more, I don't know what the word would be, Kim, but when you went camping, you knew you were going to be caught up to the Lord. If I went camping, I knew I would at least visualize, and now I'll use the word trust that he's going to do that. So if you get to the place where you're not just believing it's going to happen, you know it's going to happen.
I do hope it's going to happen. So like the first few days I was there, I was, my mind was going and I couldn't get quiet. Had got to get the camper right. Had the dog, and I was just like busy, and so I wasn't able to really step over because I couldn't get my brain to quiet. I couldn't get my body quiet down. And so once I brought the dog back home and I had the camper all set up and everything was all quiet, then I could just like.
That's really helpful information, Kim, probably more so than you realize, because a lot of us think that us mere mortals don't have it down like you do, and that you must go out there, okay, I'm here, Lord, boom, I'm wished away. But since for 30-some years you've been doing this, you still had to struggle. You were struggling to get your mind quiet so that you could even go. Yeah,
because I knew I wasn't quiet. So the first few days I could feel that, I wasn't anxious. You just have stuff to do, when you're going camping, if you're going on vacation or things like that, you just have natural things to do.
Yeah.
And so my husband knows that he says, I know that I just want to go and be quiet. I don't want the responsibility of a dog. I love my dog. We have stories about dogs here after a while. I love my dog, but just the mind of where's the dog, and, just the noise of the dog barking and is it off the leash? Is it on the leash? Is it trying to get in a fight? That keeps you kind of stirred up.
Understood.
And so I brought the dog home and everybody was, settled and the camper was settled and, everything. And I could just sit and just knowing everything is okay. And that's why.
I think at the moment we ran out of time, you were saying, I said, how do you know you're going to go? And you started to say, I could just feel, and then we ran out of time and Jeff came out. What were you starting to say there when you felt like it was about to happen?
Yeah, you can feel, like, so when I was camping this week, I could feel, okay, I can get quiet. Now is a good quiet. I can get quiet. My mind is quiet. Everything is settled. I'm done, and that's why I go out into my prayer room. I have a room that I go to, and it takes, it may take 30 minutes. It may take an hour. It depends on kind of how the day's been going or the week's been going, that you can just get quiet. I pray in tongues for a while. It could 10 minutes, could be an hour, just whatever it takes to get your body quiet down. I have a piece of paper and pen. I'm always writing down things that my brain is rolling around to get it out of me, to get it out of my head and to get quiet.
And we're going to jump into these stories. You got about 5 great stories here that he's taking to do. So I want to get to that. One last question on this. Kim, what is your sense or understanding that, why do you have to get quiet at all? Why can't God just say, come up, and suddenly you're there? What is the thing about having to get quiet first, if you can even answer that?
Because, well, for me, and that may be different, for other people, but for me, I can't get my brain to shut off.
Okay.
Because if you're in your head, if you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to work it out, you're in your head. You got to get out of your head and in your spirit.
Okay.
So that's the big thing. You got to get out of your head and in your spirit. So that's why I pray in tongues. I get out of my head and you get in your spirit and you just calm.
And the long and short of it is, in order for this to kind of be successful, you've got to cooperate with God. And by cooperating with God, you've got to get quiet so you can sense yourself going or something. Is that about?
Right. Yeah. Okay. And so if your brain is working, it's hard to get quiet. So you've got to do whatever you have to do to get your mind quiet. Some people, when they go to bed at night, they can finally get their mind quiet. First time in the morning, before the day has started, your mind is quiet and you're able to focus,
Yeah.
So.